Hello, friends, and welcome to a new episode of Readings That Heal with me, Marissa of Marissa Moments, where I'm sharing divine words for the day, real life stories, and channeled messages that aim to trigger a spark of your divinity, awaken your spirit, and connect you back to your true self. Now, be warned, this is about divine accountability and self-reflection. So if you're here, it's because you're ready to work and heal. Now, let's get into it. Okay, so the word of today, of the week, is prepared, right? Prepared. Now, we could be talking about a dish. We could be talking about your life, but I think we're talking about your life. So I need you to listen up because Apple, that's setting an intention. Go watch the YouTube video on it if you want to know more about it. Anyway, so let's talk prepared. Now, real life story. About 2 years ago, my husband and I bought a house. And it is a beautiful home. And this isn't a humble brag. This is just facts, right? I never could have seen myself in this house. Well, I don't know if that's really completely true because I feel like I manifested it, right? 6 bedrooms, 5.5 baths. Now, again, I'm not trying to brag. I'm not trying to do any of those things, but this is just facts. I can recall when we were in our apartment before we bought this home and we were house hunting and looking all up and down. I think we looked at all of Chicago and some extended branches, right? And we couldn't find anything, of course, until we found the one, right? Anyway, so before we moved here, I remember having a conversation with my daughters in our apartment. And I said, you know what? We're going to be in a house of 6 bedrooms. And at the time, I thought it was going to be like about 3 bathrooms because that's what made sense to me. And I said, can you see it? One of them said yes. The other one said no. That doesn't matter. That's neither here nor there. However, 2 years later, we're in that home, right? And here's the thing, though, right? When we were touring these houses, and specifically when we toured this house, I was so excited. I was really excited. But at the same time, I was so fearful. Because as we were touring, the realtor, well, I don't think it was the realtor, but somebody who was along for the ride said, well, man, all those bathrooms, how are you going to keep those clean? This big old house, how are you going to keep it clean? And I was just like, oh, my God, yeah, how am I going to keep it clean? Because, I mean, in this patriarchal society that sometimes still exists with these Stone Age concepts and mindsets, it falls back on the woman of the house to keep everything clean. And a part of my training and my programming was the notion of when people come into your home, they look at the woman of the house. If it's not clean, if it's not well kept, then they're going to look at the woman. It's all that judgment is going to fall on the woman. So I carried the weight of that on my shoulders. And so I can remember, even though I was extremely excited and I knew this is our house. Wow, this is amazing. This is just wow, right? I still harbored that fear in my heart and I really took it to heart. I would have talks with my kids. I was like, listen, when we move there, you guys got to keep your rooms and your stuff clean. Now, I still stick to that, right? Because this is not just a home for one person. We all got to pitch in. And also that's a part of moving away from that notion of it falls down to one person to keep everything pristine and neat and having to worry about other people's judgments and all of those things. Because one, I'm not letting people in my door that are going to judge me based off of the condition of my home. And two, this isn't a party of one type situation and circumstance. So if that's your mindset, maybe this is your reminder to start tweaking that as well, because the world does not rest on your shoulders alone. You are not Atlas. But anyway, let's talk about being prepared because that's the notion of this podcast. That's the notion of this week, right? The thing of it is that, like, for instance, right now I'm mopping the whole house. Now I set a schedule for myself. I often claim OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, even though I've never been truly diagnosed. My therapist from years ago said I was like one criterion off from having that actual diagnosis, but she kind of kept her pen ready to write it down as a label, right? Because I had many of the other symptoms. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The thing of it is I set a schedule for myself. I make it possible, not to the point where I'm going to kill myself over or stress myself out, but I am able to maintain. And in those moments that I'm not, then it is what it is, right? Again, the people who cross my threshold are understanding. They know that life happens in this home. They are, they know that this is more than just one person. They know, trust, and believe that instead of stepping in the seat of judgment, that they are going to be empathetic and sympathetic because, hey, they have lives too and they understand, right? No one is perfect. But I'm getting away from the notion of prepared. I've been able to maintain this home. That's that bottom line. With, of course, the help of my children and my husband. We've been able to maintain this home in a way that I never could even imagine possible. I spent all that time with that fear, that anger even, and that resentment and all of those different types of things, just based off of the toxic programming that was being interwoven within my spirit. The truth of the matter is, every single place that I've lived up to this very moment has prepared me to be able to maintain this home of today. Now, I know I keep talking about my house and all those types of things, and this is for somebody, right? Talking about that home and being able to manage it in terms of that growth and expansion. But this is more than just keeping a home clean. This is about progress. This is about ascension. This is about evolution. This is about growth. Because the thing of it is, we often sit within our fears and the seeds of doubt that are implanted by others who are sitting within their own personal fears and their own personal doubts that are projected onto us. And we allow those to overrule the fact that we have been prepared. Every single step that you take, every single step that I take is in preparation of the next step. If we were walking down the street and we told ourselves with every single step, oh my gosh, what am I going to be able to take that next step? Then we would never get anywhere, right? We would stand still. And that's what God wants you to understand from this message, from this channeled message that I'm giving to you, specifically you. Take it how it resonates within your spirit and within your heart, because yes, we are in the season of application, right? This is a new year, new you. Anything is possible. And I hope you understand and also know that you don't have to wait until the new year to make a resolution to change. And that change is happening every single day because you are what? You are prepared. You are prepared for every new step that is coming your way. And if you need proof of that, if you need evidence of that, if you're that type of person, I understand because I often am too. Just take a look at your past. Every single time that you thought there ain't no way. How many times have you told yourself that? Or, man, if I was in that situation and scenario, I wouldn't even be able to make it. And then that situation and scenario came up and look at you surviving. Not only surviving, but thriving, right? Because anything is possible. If something is presented before you, that is because you are capable of overcoming, because you are what? You are prepared. You are always prepared for what comes across your desk, your life, your eyes, your whatever. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Listen, maintaining this home is not a walk in the park, but it is possible because I am prepared. I've taken everything that I've learned from the past and applied it to today. And then I will take everything that I learned today and apply it into tomorrow. That is the process of evolution. That is the process of ascension and growth. It's not always about these grandiose steps. It's not always about these huge momentous breakthroughs. The truth is, these small steps lead to greater destinations. But if we keep leaning on other people's fears and even fears of our own that are lies of the enemy that are implanted within us to make us basically stand still, then we will never move ahead. We will never be able to understand and recognize the fact that we were always prepared, whether we enjoyed that preparation or not, whether we even resented it, were angry behind it, whatever it is. Your situation and circumstance is your situation and circumstance. I'm not saying it's always going to be fair. I'm not saying that we're always going to like that preparation, because odds are good we won't. But the hardest and harshest preparation often lead to the greatest destinations. Listen, when we live, okay, I live in Chicago. There's a lot of people who want to visit Chicago. They're like, wow, Chicago, that's amazing, right? Downtown Chicago, all these high rises and all these, tall buildings and different types of things and the hustle and bustle of the city. Wow, that's what a lot of people think. And I used to think the same thing when I was growing up, even though I lived in Gary, which was a hop, skip, and a jump away, right? But we didn't have a car, so I didn't have the transportation to get out here. So every time we did visit, my eyes grew big and I was just like, wow, I felt like a country gal coming to the city. Now, the reason I say that is because I was being prepared. We often have to put in the work in order to get to those travel destinations that we fantasize about. And often the very places that we fantasize about, the very things that we feel like are just pipe dreams that we just kind of play around about, we tap into our air quotes imagination, even though it's actually our intuition. And we kind of play around with it and think, but anyway, and then we go back to our air quotes, real world or real life situations and scenarios and discount and disclaim everything that was just put on our hearts because we live through our fear as opposed to our preparation. If I allowed that to happen, then I wouldn't live here right now. And I'm not saying that this is going to be my end all be all, because I have greater dreams on my heart. However, if this is my end all be all, I'm happy with that too, because I'll count my blessings and then watch them multiply. But we're talking about being prepared. Whatever is being put on your heart, if you are in the realm where you see another state of existence and you're like, wow, I can't wait to go there. Wow, that's a beautiful destination. Those destinations often take travel, often take preparation to get there, but you are capable. That's what I want you to take away from this. You are capable. You are already prepared. Lean on that as opposed to the fears. Start moving forward. Don't just talk about it, be about it, right? You are ready. You are already prepared. God has been preparing you. You have been being trained up. Life is nothing but a big, huge training ground for the next step. But if you continue to get in your way and listen to other people's misgivings and fear, you will never step into the promise that is specifically for you. So I'm not going to keep going on and on because hopefully you're picking up what I'm putting down. And the bottom line is you are prepared. And that's it. And of course, I know this message resonates because it's for you. And if it doesn't resonate for you, then it probably resonates for a friend of yours, in which case I suggest that use your common sense and your discernment and discretion and forward this over to them. Let them know that you see them. Let them know that they are not alone in their struggles, in their ascension, in their understandings, in their divinity, right? And along with that, make sure that you check out my archives. I can't even speak. Somebody doesn't want me to share this message, but I'm going to get it out, right? Make sure you check the archives for all past messages. Look for the word that resonates with you and then click on it, listen to the message, take it as it resonates. But not only that, apply it because we are in the season of application. And in addition to that, make sure you look me up on all of social media because I am everywhere. And nothing's better than walking this journey than to walk it along with a friend. And I may just be that friend that you need. I'm funny and I'm cool and I got a lot of divine downloads for you. So let's tap in together and let's keep walking together. But when you look me up, just remember it is Marissa Moments, and that is Marissa with one S because like I always like to say, there is only one me. So thanks for listening. Tune in every week, get your message, get your word, and then apply it. And that's it for now, guys. So I'll see you next week and I'll see you on other social media. Happy healing.